Hi Divya, welcome to Global Influencers Hub. Here we talk about the life journeys of social media influencers, and we cannot wait to deep dive into yours. By deep dive, I mean right, going back right to your childhood. So
Okay.
let's talk about how was Divya as a child.
Divya was a very shy person. I still am. Very introvert, very shy. However, my dad is from Air Force. So I'm like a defense 4G kid. I have changed more than nine schools. No, nine schools in total in 12 years of schooling. 12, 15
Wow.
years of schooling. Yeah. So imagine a shy kid changing school every 2 years, 1.5 years. So yeah. So I was introvert. I was very opinionated, very opinionated, introvert, opinionated. However, I had a lovely childhood because my mother was very supportive, very strict, very strict, very much in rules, but always being there for me.
Wonderful,
So yeah.
wonderful. So who really was your childhood influence? I'm assuming your mom.
Oh yeah, to a large extent my mother, but though my father was not present there a lot because he was a flyer, but
Mhm.
a lot of values I feel I am more like my dad. I
Okay, okay,
very much like
okay,
my dad when it comes to value
okay.
system of what I believe in, what he believes in. Yeah.
Can you give us an example of that?
Like for me there is no gray, it's like either a black and white. It's like if it's a rule, it's a rule.
Hmm.
If like my dad was very particular about us dressing up properly, going out. I am the same. I am like, you can't just go out in the slippers. Now I'm little lenient because of my husband, but initially I was like this. You have to be properly dressed. I am more like, no matter what happens, I'm like, you can just say the truth. So
Absolutely.
my dad is 100% like that. So I don't understand in betweens in my life. So sometimes it becomes difficult now that I'm a mother and you have to say white lies to a child, which I'm
Hmm.
learning that it is
Right.
okay. You don't have to tell them everything very honestly. But yeah, so that part has come from my dad. And very picky about my friends. My mother is not like that. My mother is like, you can put
More
her
social and all.
oh yeah, you can put her anywhere, and she will have more friends than me. So my friends go and talk to my mother about their problems, though they will never come to talk to me. So my mother is like that, but I'm more like my father, who is very particular about who my friends are, who my friend circle is, how I want to be perceived outside, how I like my space and things like that. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So tell us a little more about growing up. So you were changing schools and all that. And
Yeah.
after that, after class 12, what happened?
So after class 12th, I really wanted to go to Delhi. I did my 12th from Allahabad for school. So I really wanted to go to Delhi. I said, I want to go in the boarding school and I'm going to be there and all that. Somehow my father was still not comfortable. So they somehow convinced, they said, Acha, ek kaam kar, now you go to Chandigarh and mama will go with you, because my brother had already joined NDA by that time. So one kid was already out. Okay. So they were
Mhm.
little possessive about me at that time. They said, it's okay, you do your graduation and then we will figure it out and you go with mama. So then they somehow convinced me to go to Chandigarh. So then I moved to Chandigarh. There also I changed two colleges in 3 years. So first I was in first college, which was an entirely girls college, and I said, this is not me, I can't be in a girls college. Never been in a girls college, I've always been in a co-ed kind of a space. So then I shifted to another college in Chandigarh, which my dad was completely against, that you're not going in that college. I'm not going to sign your letter and all. I'm not going to come to the principal. I said, it's okay, don't come. I'll go. I'll do it myself. So that's what I'm saying. I am like, I won't say an introvert. I am like, I keep myself to myself. Like, I'm not very outgoing, but I'm very opinionated. So if I want to do something, I'll do it. I will not be like, oh, please do it for me and things like that. I'll do it myself. It's okay. So that's
Perfect.
how what happened after 12th. and that was Chandigarh. Then I want to get married. Nobody believes this, but yeah, that was a fact. I was obsessed with those at that time these serials used to come, kyuki saas bhi bahu kabhi bahu thi.
Yes, yes, of
Yeah.
course.
So if anyone would ask me, what do you want to do, Divya? I said, I want to get married and have kids. And I want to wear
Oh,
those,
wow.
bangles. And so that was my ambition. And I am not shy about it. I used to love it.
Why
I
should
was
you
like,
be? Of course,
this
of
is what
course.
I want in life. I just want to wake up, have kids, and, take care of the family and things like that. So by the time the third year of the college was there, my mother is like, I have to do something about her. Otherwise, she's gonna be like, get me married, get me married. I was obsessed with marriage. I would go anywhere and say, Arey, this is the kind of lehenga I want, and this is what I want. And that's the conversation I used to have with my mother. And my mother is thinking in her head why she doesn't want to study, why she doesn't want to go out and do something.
She just wants to get married. What is
Yeah,
her goal? She wants to get married.
yeah, because and my mother is like, just because my mother always felt that, as they say, sometimes parents want the kids to do something that they can't do. So my mother always just told me, you work for 2 years, then you get married. I said, I don't want to work. I don't like working. No, you work for 2 years, then you get married. So somehow or the other, again, she convinced me to go to Hyderabad. I didn't give any cat, mat, whatever used to happen at that time. I said, I am not studying. Why do I give it also? So she's like, okay, okay, just try. So there was a very good friend of mine. She convinced my friend to convince me to go to Hyderabad with her. नहीं नहीं तो
Hmm.
लेके जा, you have fun, you stay in the hostel, you wanted to stay in hostel, no, go live that life. So she convinced me like that, live that life, and then I'll get you married, no problem. I said, okay, fine.
I love that.
Oh, my mother, I tell everybody, if you have a girl like me, who is like so strong headed, all over the place, want things her the way she wants it, you have to go and meet my mother. She'll give you exactly tips how to raise a girl.
Like
A
that.
strong opinionated girl. Because as I said, she was strict but she was loving. She knew how to nicely, maneuver me without fighting, because she knew if she fights with me, then it's
Won't
like
happen. Yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
happening at all. You tell me, I'm not
Yeah,
going to do it no matter what you say
yeah,
it. I'm like one of those,
yeah,
okay?
yeah.
So she convinced me to go to Hyderabad, and there everything changed for me actually. So there I got, I was doing my MBA, still thinking, yeah, fine, after this, what to do. So I was not sitting on any, they come for campus placement. So my mother's like, sit for at least one. I said, I don't want to work. I told you, I don't want to work. She's like, okay, just sit for one. Okay, I said, okay. So a lot of them would come sales, finance. I'm like, I don't understand either sales, I don't understand finance. If something else comes, I'll sit. She's like, what will you sit for? So then one company came which was into visa processing. So the only thing I heard in the entire presentation was, you will get to travel. I said, okay, for this I am going to sit.
This one sounds like fun.
This sounds fun. I'm going to travel. So they had this thing that you should not have any family obligation because you have to travel a lot. And so that lot also sounded very nice. I said, okay, fine. Anything else? They said, there's an exam you have to clear. Fine. Okay. So I told mom, I'm going to sit for that one. And the money is also okay. She's like, okay. So I sat, I cleared. There also I had a fight. As I said, you can't push me to things. I till date remember I walked out of the interview telling my then ex boss that you can't ask me such questions. How can you ask me about my personal life and things like that? I came down, called my mother. I said, "This is not happening, mom. I'm going to come back home only. Leave it, okay?" But that actually changed everything for me. I got into a company. Then I worked for VFS Global for close to 13 years. In between, I moved, and then I didn't want to get married. Once you start working, once you're traveling, I've traveled more than 23, 24 countries with them and by myself as well. So then I was like, why do I want to get married? I
Oh
do
my
not want to
God.
get married now.
The same person saying that मुझे अभी शादी नहीं करनी.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Mama, by the time I was 28, 29, she was like, I did the biggest mistake. I should have got you married when you were asking me to get married. You're becoming more and more opinionated about things, because I would just not budge. I don't like this guy. He doesn't understand me. I have a, because I was traveling. I was with all the diplomats. So I was like out partying, all the embassies and everything. And I was to like love it. I used to love it. And, and I was like, who is going to have a relationship with me? I am not in India half of the time. I come, I go. I come, I go. So I don't even blame the guy who is going to be in a relationship with me. So I was like, nobody will like me, Mama. Leave it, leave it. Yeah, like that it happened. But then I found my husband in Dubai when I was posted in Dubai, and by
Oh,
that time
wow,
I was,
very cool.
yes, and by that time I was done with working. I said, Kaha, I didn't want you to work ever, and I worked for 13 years. So I always joke to my husband. I said, see, I was anyways planning to leave my job. Even before I met him, I thought this is my last year. I'm going to leave by this date. I'm going to leave. And he came along somewhere and we got married. And I anyways left on the date that I had decided. And then he tells me, if I won't have come, what will you do? I said, God would have sent somebody else to take care of me. Somebody just had to come, because I believe in it. I always,
Uh-huh.
I said, I know I'm always going to be like wealthy. My life is perfect. तुम नहीं आते, कोई और आ जाता to take care of me. But God would have definitely sent someone.
In someone, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I quit as soon as I got married. I was like, he's like, were you waiting? I said, yeah, kind of. I had enough. Like 13 years, I had enough. I loved my job. Loved it. But I think after a point, all that success that people call, the money, the houses, the cars, and
The
the
partying and all
partying.
that,
Oh God,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I think
everything.
you reached a saturation point,
Oversaturation. Like honestly,
oversaturation
I
point,
was
yeah.
like, this is done. Like I can't do this anymore. Like now, I'm a kind of person. I go to sleep by 9:30. People ask me what is wrong with you. I said I am done. What you guys have done. I cannot do this anymore. It doesn't give me any happiness. It just tires me off. And
Right, right.
there's no judging in that, because I have done
Of
it.
course not,
So
because you've already done it.
I've
Yeah,
already done it. I don't find
yeah,
it exciting
yeah.
anymore. You know. So yeah, so that's how. So I say I'm a version Divya version 3 now. Version 1 was before marriage. Version 2 after I got married. I was very different in that 1.5, 2 years of before my son was born. And after my son was born, I'm a completely different person now. So
We want
that's
to
my
hear
journey.
about all the versions. I think the
Um,
first version we know, the
yeah,
second and the third version is yet to be
yeah.
discovered.
The
So
third
tell us
version, actually,
about.
sometimes when I reflect back and I think, my God, this is how I used to behave. Like, I'm not kidding. I sometimes, I literally turn back and say, literally, I said that to a person. How rude of me. How could I even say that? So I think with age, you understand a lot of maturity come. You understand what is right, what is wrong. So yeah, I'm in that stage of my life.
I think also with motherhood, I think things, perspective changes completely with life. I think,
Definitely.
yeah.
The
So that is a.
version 1 of Divya would, well, like I had a friend, one of my closest friend, when he got married, I think he was 27, 28. And I know him from the time I was 24. So I know he got married in front of me. He had kids in front of me. I would never be like, हाँ so ठीक है ना, come out for partying. What's the big deal? I would tell the wife, come na yaar, let's go. चल ठीक है, तो छोड़ दे बच्चे को, उसमें क्या है? And if they're crying, I'm like, यार ये क्या हो रहा है करके? And now I feel, God, Divya, you don't even understand that psyche. But you
Oh,
can't
God.
understand it. You can't understand it
No,
unless you
no,
become
no.
a parent. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. How old is your son?
My son is 6 now.
Oh, nice,
Just
nice.
turned 6, yeah.
Wonderful. So then, when did the moment of positive parenting happen?
It happened when he was 18. So if I call myself as a strong-willed child, he is like a top of it. Like I don't know what to say. I never knew that kids can be so opinionated. And so when he was 18 months old, it was during a COVID time, and he is not a kind of child that will agree to you for anything and everything. even when he was young. From the
Mm.
12 months old, I knew that he's very opinionated. You know, he would want things in a certain way. He would want, and I didn't know all that because you never read all this. You only see, right? So I was like, यार उसका बच्चा तो ऐसे नहीं कर रहा. Why my child is like so, uh, he want things in a certain way. Why I'm not able to handle him. I used to have play dates so that he would meet other kids, but he was the one sitting out completely. And then I would feel that what is wrong, like all the kids are together. I've done it in my house, but he doesn't want to sit with other kids. So because I didn't understand that children can have different temperaments, I didn't understand that my child is someone who takes time to warm up. All this I know now. Then when he was like 12 months old or something, I didn't know that, and I used to always struggle, and I used to ask my friends, my mom friends, that does your child also do like this? Does your child also cry like this? My child is having major tantrums, I don't know what to do. So when he was 18 months old, we had a major tantrum in Podi, that's my mom's house. And I think my ego just came all over me. So I had this rule from day one that I'm never going to hit him, which I never did. But on that day, something just came over me that, how dare you're not listening to me? Like I had that moment where he was crying and crying and crying, and I said, this is not done, you have to listen to me. So it was not me talking, it was my ego talking, that you are going to take bath now means now, because I said so. And I then took him to the bathroom, I poured water on him, like with his clothes on and all. And then also he's crying, and I'm like, why is he not, being quiet? Because it was, I now in retrospect I know it was not me. It was like वो होता है ना, माता आ जाती है तुम्हारे
हाँ,
अंदर. So it
बिल्कुल
was
बिल्कुल एकदम.
absolutely that.
Totally,
And
totally.
yeah, and I came out, and then I put change his clothes. He's still crying, and then he's so adamant. He said, you put those wet clothes on me. And I had to put the wet clothes on him, and then is when he became quiet after an hour and a half. And that is the day which actually just changed everything for me, because I realized this is not how I want to parent. There is something that triggered in me when he said no to me, because
Mm. Mm.
what is it? Why will I get so triggered? Why I couldn't have just said, okay, fine, you take bath after 30 minutes? Why,
Mm.
when I said it has to be now, why does it has to be now?
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah,
Why I
yeah,
was not able to manage my emotions, why. So there was a lot
correct.
of whys that was happening in my mind at that time. And I remember I picked up my first book when I came back home to Bombay, and my husband looked at me and said, now you need books to learn about parenting? I said, honestly, yes, because I do not want that episode to repeat again. Because for me, the utmost thing is my connection with my child, and I
Child,
said
correct.
something went wrong in me that day. Something was not right, and I want to understand what was not right. And if there is a better way to talk to my child, if there's a better way to understand my child, I will explore it. Because throughout my life, I have always learned. Like I have done my life coaching, I've done my NLP, I've done my MBA again, I've done, like, I believe that you should always keep learning. I'm doing,
Absolutely,
yeah, I'm doing
absolutely.
child psychology now, which I don't really have to do it, but I want to do it to know more. Because when
Hmm.
you know more, I think, if you are more aware, if you know more, you react in a different way.
You handle things better.
Because now, see, as I said, now I know my child takes time to warm up.
Hmm.
Now I know how to handle it when he doesn't want to go and play with someone. Now
Hmm.
I know if he's opinionated, I cannot force him to do things. I have to find another way. I know how to set boundaries with him, even if he's screaming and shouting. But if you ask me, few years back, that was not the case. I used to be scared of his tantrum. Like literally, I would be like, oh God, don't cut it like this. He's going to start shouting. I used to like be scared of my child. I'm not kidding. And a lot of mothers are. I know
Of
that
course, of course, of course.
a lot of mothers are, because somehow they think you cannot. Because I also used to think that, if I'm not hitting, if I'm trying to gently parent my child, or positive parenting, whatever you call it, I cannot I cannot raise my voice, I cannot do this. But the thing was, I cannot be scared of my child either. right?
You
I
can't.
have
Yeah.
to be confident when it comes to my child. So I think that day just changed everything for me. So from there on, I started learning, getting my certifications done. I read a lot of books. I tell everybody, if you can't even get certification done, just read books. Half of them have all the knowledge that you need to understand your child. It is all about understanding other person's perspective, nothing else.
Mm-hmm. Now, can you walk us through a real life situation of positive discipline that you talk about?
I will tell you what happened in today only. I took him to a birthday party, and as I said, my child takes time to warm up. Imagine he's 6 years old, okay, and it was a birthday party of a school friend. You know all your school friends, right? But they got the holidays, so there's a gap of 15 days now. So he's meeting all his friends after 15 days. I really didn't expect that he will not go and participate. He just came and sat next to me, and I told him, I said, Robert, go. He said, I don't want to go. I said, okay. I said, it's okay. If you don't want to go, you sit here, no problem. And then 10 minutes later, I asked him, I said, do you want to go now? He said, no, I don't want to go now. And I just sat there. I didn't force him. I didn't do anything. But if it was me not knowing it, I would have been like pushing him, which I see a lot of
Mm,
parents
right,
doing and taking
right.
it very personally. Mera bachcha
Mm,
ja nahi raha hai. Why is my kid not playing with other kids? You know, they will push him. They will give them ki tum chale jao. I'll give you a chocolate, a toffee. They are giving gems and all. Nothing works. A
mm,
child will get up and go when a child wants to get up and go. And eventually he went. It took him 30 minutes. They stopped something. When the magic show started, he himself ran and went and sat in the front. So you have to give that time to a child to tell them that it's okay, there's nothing wrong with you sitting with me. I don't have to think about what my friends are thinking. I don't have to think about what others are thinking. If you want to sit with me and enjoy time with me, please do. That's it. I
that
don't have to
safe
think.
space to
Safety.
understand that, the kids also need time to warm up, just like adults do.
Oh,
A lot
yeah.
of adults, a lot of adults need a lot of time. My husband needs a lot of time to just like
I
warm
need a lot of time. I
up.
cannot go to a party. When I was working, it was a different thing because my mindset was this is work. I have to go. I have to mingle. It's a different mindset you go with. Now, when I have to go on a party, I can't go for a long time. And if I
Mm,
don't know somebody, I am stuck to my husband most of the time. And I'm like, dude, how do I get out of it? I don't know somebody. The same happens with a child also. But I think क्या होता है ना, we adult feels that children should be like all over the place. They should always be happy, running around. Why will they take time to warm up? What is wrong with them? Nothing wrong with them. It's a different personality. It's a different temperament. That's it.
true, true, true. True. And I think it's important that we all talk about it because that way other parents also become aware of the traits of their own kids as well.
Yeah, yeah. So there are strong-willed child. There are kids who are shy. There are kids who are flexible. So you
True,
need to
true.
understand what kind of child do you have and how to enhance their trait and make sure they're ready for the world. Like if I have a strong-willed child, I don't want to tell him not to be opinionated, but I want to teach him that you can disagree with me, but you need to do it respectfully. So that's what I have to work as a mother.
Mm,
Not tell him that you can't ask me why you asking me these questions, I told you so. Don't ask me. Matlab, I want you to have a voice because that is your personality. I don't want to snub it down, but I want to teach you to respect other person's opinion as well and to disagree respectfully. That's it.
absolutely. Very
Nothing
true.
wrong in that.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So what kind of myths do you think, like, top three myths about positive discipline?
I'll tell you, with positive discipline or positive parenting, it's like first thing I
Okay.
hear is that uh, you cannot say no to a child or it's too soft.
Mm,
That is the biggest myth. How are
mm,
you going to parent without a no? You have to say no. You have to say no. Like my answer to my child a lot of time is sorry, that can't be done. Simple. However, how you say it is matters. I don't have to
exactly.
scream about it. I don't have to shout about it. I just have to say so. That's how it is. This is a rule.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Second myth that I hear a lot of people doing wrong is that it's permissive. they they are so scared of their child, like how I used to be, you know, that they are like, yeah, jo kar raha hai karne do, I cannot handle them screaming. So that gentle parenting goes into permissive parenting, or that positive
Mm.
discipline goes into uh, permissive parenting, where the child really rules over you because you are so scared of the tantrum, you don't want to say anything,
Mm.
you know.
Mm.
And the third myth about positive discipline is it doesn't work for Indian kids, which I don't know why it is said like this, because I say all kids are the same, all humans are the
Mm.
same,
Yeah,
right?
true, true.
Yes, I
Yeah.
do understand in India the joint family mix comes in. Our parents are more involved. Okay, I understand that, but that doesn't mean that your child don't want love or connection, or they are only going to listen when you're going to scream. That is not true. A child is a child. Now, if I ask you, Devika, there are two people. One person is talking to you nicely, is saying things to you, even whether you want to do it or not, and you feel more connected to that person. And the other person is there, who is being rude to you. Which side are you going to fall automatically?
Of course, for me, I think anything above a certain decibel level becomes noise.
Yeah,
Because, for me, I personally have always talked about, even speaking in a certain decibel level.
yeah,
And that is, so I have always believed in that regardless of who you're talking to.
yeah. So the same is with children, whether it's Indian or outside. If you have a connection
Absolutely.
with your
Absolutely.
child, a child will listen to you. If you do not have a connection with your child, if your child is not respecting you out of love, not out of fear, you know they are at some point going to start retaliating. They are going to go out of the house. I know so many kids who would be like, I just want to get out of my house, I just want to get out of my house, because sometimes that love used to start feeling like control, that traditions used to start feeling like control. Everything
Mm,
used to be like, what is wrong with me? Why is my mother thinking or my father thinking this is my mistake? you know
mm,
so that is one thing. So I think with positive discipline, they always say it doesn't work for Indian kids. I said, why are our kids any different? Kids are
mm,
kids everywhere. Yes,
mm.
it is very difficult, I agree. It takes the energy out of you, because you know why? Because in this kind of parenting, you have to reflect on yourself first.
Of course.
Like what happened with me when everything shifted was, as I said, something came over me. My ego became so big that day that I didn't know where to stop.
Stop. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I say वो माता आ जाती है ना कभी कभी, literally I don't know whether you understand it in Hindi or not, but in Hindi we say this in North India कि इसमें माता आ गई है, that now the person is not even understanding what
Not
he
in
or
the
she is
same space.
doing.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
logic. And I said,
Yeah.
so now tell me, my child refusing that day to go for a bath, why was it such a big trigger to me? Right? The child is the same, but it was a trigger to me because my
Correct.
ego came in saying that how dare you said no to me? I told you that this is the time for bath. That means it's a time for bath. So
Mm.
is it my child problem or my problem?
Yeah, exactly. But I'm glad that you did so much introspection and actually went through that journey, because not many people under that kind of stress and having a 2-year-old, less than two, he was at that time, actually even like think and change that perspective of things.
Yeah,
So I think that was a huge blessing. I would say that you had
because
that day.
yeah, thank you. But I tell you what I have realized after coaching so many mothers is mothers don't have time to think. We have so much going on. Okay,
So
even
much,
today also,
so
me
much.
also, so much going on, and honestly, we are not made to do so many things.
So
Humanly possible नहीं है वो. ठीक
नहीं है
है.
नहीं.
And then उसके ऊपर से to think about and retrospect and be calm, it's like नहीं होता है. Very honestly, नहीं होता है. It's like
True, 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 true.
it is so burdening sometimes that you're like, yaar, matlab, just let's just get this over with, because we have a checklist in our head.
Mm. Absolutely.
We have
Like
a checklist in our
absolutely.
head.
Totally.
Until
Totally. ये
men
करना है,
don't.
इसके बाद ये करना है.
तो
Mm.
वो क्या होता है ना, I'll tell you how the struggles happen, and it happens with me also. Till date it happens. I just have to be aware, and honestly some days I'm aware, some days I'm not aware. It's not that I've never lost my cool after that. I have, but I have become much better. I know when I'm like literally boiling up. So my
Mm.
tone to my son generally is कि Zoravar, now I am like seriously getting angry. Abhi kar lo, nahi to next I'm going to start shouting. So he knows when this line has come, that means Mama has reached her threshold and abhi kar lo jaake jo bhi she's asking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's interesting because my line usually to my son always has been that, I think, you've become used to listening to people who raise their voices.
Hmm.
So, because I don't. So, usually I think that then he knows that, nahi, abhi I should do what she's
What?
asking me to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
you
yeah.
know inside you, if you are little aware about your body, you know when that volcano is going to burst.
Correct,
I know it
correct.
because for me it comes still here. Like I start feeling that congestion in my chest, and I know, okay, now I'm gonna burst. Either it's gonna
Right.
be on my husband or the help or him. Something is gonna happen for sure. So yes, so I was saying that yeah, a lot of mothers don't have time. Second, what happens is that this thing about हमने तो बच्चे ऐसे ही पाले थे, तुम्हारे बच्चों में क्या difference है, that's thing that really happens in India. I think a lot of places it happens, okay. But what happens is we are like कि यार, it's not about that you raised your child a certain way and we want to raise our child a certain way. That's not the thing. I feel that our parents were not aware that these things really affect the mental health of a child. My mother says that to me. She said, I didn't know a lot of things you talk about in your live, the Instagram live that I do. She says, I only attend to understand because I have never understood this side of perspective. Nobody talked to us
True,
about it.
true,
So it's
true.
not that I'm going to say ki I have raised the best children in the world, but all I'm going to say is that I have tried my best with whatever knowledge I have, and I take it from her whenever there's a coaching that I do for a joint family, daughter-in-law. I always tell her, I said, see, understand, they are coming from a place of love. Okay, it's
True,
not that
true,
they are just not aware. You want to be a little bit more aware, so you are a little bit ahead in the growth chart. They are still there, so you are going to fight with them because they have not learned it. Then they
true.
say they don't want to learn it. I said, yeah, because they're again babies. They're like, up to seekh liya at 60, I don't want to learn anything. I said, but when you start looking at the intention of the person,
Mm.
your
True.
perspective completely changes.
Yes.
When you know that my mother-in-law or my father-in-law have said a certain thing or did a certain thing, and there was no vice in it, or unka matlab to acha hi tha. It's just that they don't know that the chocolates are not good, or even if they know, they are still giving out of love, you know then you have to find another way to set a boundary, not in front of everybody else, not creating a scene out of it. Because I feel that half of the time the problem comes because there's a lot of undercurrent anyways happening between the in-laws.
Relationship.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and all that just
Just in general.
comes
Very
out
true.
when something happens with the child.
True. True. True.
you know
Yeah.
so I said, so it's not that कि जॉइंट फैमिली में इंडियन पेरेंटिंग के ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स नहीं समझेंगे. दे आर मोर देन हैप्पी टू लिसन टू यू, बट इट इज हाउ यू कम्युनिकेट इज व्हाट आई फील.
Very true. True.
Because this I have also learned. My first year I was so possessive about my son, so possessive, I can't even tell you, okay, that I would not even let my own mother trust. I wouldn't trust my mother also with him. No, no, I will only carry, I will only do this, I will only do that. It's only that slowly when I understood that they have better, matlab they have the same intention as I am. Like, come on, yaar, I am their child, okay. Mera bachcha to unke liye is like more than anything,
More than exactly.
more
True.
than anything. They,
True.
they,
True.
they tell me, they said, you don't understand it, like maybe with you we didn't have time to spend because we were so busy. Now we have time, we want to enjoy it. But
Mm.
then I tell them that, mama, if you want to give a chocolate, give it on a certain day. So I'll give you a small example if you have time, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of
So when it
course.
was COVID, my dad, no, We went to my mother's house to stay for 6 months. Okay, so my son same time, this 12 to 20 months my son का उतना का time होगा बीच में कभी. My son would go to my dad and उनके pocket में ना he would always go and do something, and I'm looking, I said, why is he again going to my dad again and again, and taking something out of the pocket and then run away or do something. So one day I asked my dad after 2-3 days, I said, क्या करने आता है आपके पास, and why he is behind you all the time these days? Otherwise, he is a child who will not go. As I said, he takes his time with everybody. Why come suddenly such friendship has started? My father started smiling. So mama said, Papa chocolate देते उसको every time he comes. So Papa के pocket में chocolates are there, those small small toffees are there, no? So he knows. So my son knew कि every time जाके toffee निकाल सकता मैं उनके pocket से. I didn't say anything to my dad at that time because I feel I was irritated. Of course, I was like, why are you giving all this to my son? Okay, but if I would have said at that time, I would have been very rude to him. So I just became a little quiet and I said, okay, fine. Next day in the evening, I told him, I said, Papa, why do you give him? No, I want him to come and talk to me. He needs to know I love him. I said, it's okay. I said, so Sundays is chocolate day or ice cream day, whatever it is. You give him on Sunday. No, you give him because Sunday ko kya hota tha? I would give him. Like Sunday hua nahi, then I would go and give him the chocolate and everything. I said, so let's do this. I will give it to you. You give it to him. बेसिकली बच्चे को तो जब देखना है ना कि किसने दिया है करके, he said okay fine, he said okay fine, I'll do that. All I'm saying is there is a way of communicating,
Right,
and
right.
they then understand it, because when you understand from where they are coming, no, you will also go and try to meet them there. You will also try to give them more information. And now with social media, and I tell you, our parents are more on social media and Facebook than we.
Me at the time. Very true, true, true. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
So
yeah.
true. Tell us about a workshop or a session that has deeply moved you.
I think workshop, I did only one offline workshop. Rest I do one-on-ones now.
Or like a
Starting
one-on-one session where you thought that, it has been a huge impact or something along those lines where you've seen the change, basically.
no, in the workshop only. I did one workshop, but that was like really good. One of my, I think after 3-4 months, I met the mother and she said that, you know what, Divya, now my son writes the entire page. Maybe that was important to her. That time she was struggling because she came in saying, my son doesn't listen to me, he's very rude, he's hitting. I think the son was, I think, 5 years old at that time, yeah. And my daughter is like the perfect, like very padaku, she's all A's and all, but my son doesn't do anything. And she was very this thing about the son, and how to discipline him, how to discipline. So I actually in the workshop was all about connection, and it was a 4 week long workshop, because I feel if you have to go in depth, I can't do it in 2 hours with you. I can't
You
do it
can.
over a
It is not
weekend.
possible. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I always say, if you work with me, I'll tell you something to do, implement it for a week, see the difference. Then take another thing, implement it for a week. It's like step by step process, right? So for few things, she was like, no, this doesn't happen in Indian families and things like that. I said, you try. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Like we do family meetings. like so she's like, what is family meetings? I said, see, in my home it's called family circle time because my son is young, and in the school they do circle times. So I told them how the family circle time can be done, and how it is like a bonding session with the family, which I personally have also gained so much in my life. Like honestly, with my husband, with sometimes my mother-in-law also joins in, and just saying thank yous and saying gratitude to each other is like, I think, the best feeling you can have when someone says thank you to you, sitting.
So
So
much
I
positivity right there. So,
right there. So I
absolutely,
so I taught
absolutely.
her few things, and I taught all of
Right.
them few things. She implemented few. She gave a very good review and feedback. But then after 3-4 months, she met me and she said, Divya, that time I was struggling a lot, and I'm so thankful you came. Now my son, he is not hitting anybody. I'm not getting any complaints about him. He's writing a full page, and I'm so happy. You came to my life at the right time. So I said, what changed? She said, my perspective of looking at him changed.
Wow.
She said, first, I would just see the negative in him and I would not connect with him more. I was more like, हम बहुत task oriented होते हैं mothers. As you said, वो checklist, ये कर लो, ये कर लो, ये कर लो, ये कर लो. There was no connection behind it. There was no that, ठीक है, if this doesn't happen. For me, my connecting with my child is more important. She said, now when I started doing that, she said, I don't even have to tell him to do the homework. He comes, he does, and then he goes down to play. He said, initially it used to be such a fight. So I
Right.
think
Yeah.
the
Right.
shift happens when you start connecting more. And I always say it is not like a one time thing, even for me. When my child and me start having disagreements, like Zoravar is, as I said, he's having a meltdown. Ek din hua, it's okay. It's everybody, sabke saath hota hai. But when it is happening again and again, and he's saying hurtful words or, bahut tantrums ho rahe hai, my first thing to myself is, what is missing? Is he not getting that connection from me, my time from me? Like kuch to hai that he is showing it in a tantrum or a rude way to me, right? I said,
Hmm.
or am I being too over controlling that he needs that power and I'm not giving him? Because बच्चों के साथ दो चीजें ही होती है, either the connection is missing or they are struggling for power.
Hmm.
And जैसे ये दोनों चीज में कुछ गड़बड़ होती है ना, the tantrum starts hitting the roof. मेरे केस में मोस्टली आई हैव सीन कनेक्शन बिकॉज आई हैव स्टार्टेड वर्किंग नाउ. So he feels that mama used to be always available and now suddenly she is not available. So sometimes that too, it's not all the time. I do my work when he's not home. Still he feels.
Hmm.
Now also
Hmm.
when I have come, I have to tell him, explain it to him, ask my husband, please sit with him. I said, please give me 1 hour. Okay, mama, but after that you'll read me 2 books. Okay. So what do you
I
do?
think it is. I think you're absolutely spot on, because I think it is absolutely the connection, and they don't have. At times they don't know how to express it.
Yeah.
So kids
So
actually, their expression is like in all different ways.
tantrums, and they start saying very hurtful things to you, and you take it very personally. I feel sometimes,
True. True.
कि
Hmm.
ऐसे कैसे बोल दे. And I'll be very honest with you. Last week only he said a lot of things to me which really hurted me. Though I tell everybody don't take it personally, don't take it personally, but when kids say it, it takes you time to digest it, be
Correct.
okay with it, and let it go. So because
Hmm.
when my child shouts, I don't say anything because I know his brain is not working. That is one thing I know. So when
Hmm.
he says something, I just listen. I don't tell him that when he says you're the worst mother in the world or you doesn't do this. I don't go and give justifications. I just listen. I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, that's what you feel. It's okay, no problem. Koi baat nahi, and things like that. Because with strong-willed child, no, they will pull you into a power struggle.
Correct.
They will
Correct.
only say things to you to hurt you. Ki I will say one thing, and then you are
Hmm.
going to respond, and then I will say another thing. So their intention is only to hurt you because they are so hurt.
Correct. Correct.
And parents क्या गलती कर देते हैं ना, parents take it very egoistically.
Hmm.
How dare you spoke to me like this? वो बेचारा तो वैसे ही hurt कर रहा है, ऊपर से you are again saying how dare you spoke to me like this, you have no respect for me and thing, and now
Actually becomes a power struggle.
power
It
struggle से
actually
ज्यादा.
becomes
Yeah,
a power struggle. Right. Right. Right.
power struggle and then slowly into resentment.
True. True. Yeah. Yeah. Now tell us something. If you had to design a positive parenting toolkit,
Hmm.
what top five tools or values would go inside it?
See, tools are different, values are different. Okay, I'll touch upon a little bit on values because I always say this: when we become parents, we don't think it through as to what I want for my child,
Mm, mm,
right? Like whenever I've asked this to any mother or any father, what do you want for your child? The only thing I generally get is happiness, successful, confidence. I said, what else? What do you want for your child? Like, at least give me 3 things you want for your child. Because when you're clear with what you want for your child, your parenting will start rotating around that. I'll give you an example. Like, one of the things I want for my child is I always want him to be curious.
right.
Always. Always. That's my one of the top things, because maybe I was like this, but I somewhere had to nudge it. So I'm like, you're curious, stay curious. So why my parenting revolves around it? Then when he's asking questions, I will not ask, tell him not to ask him me. I will try to look for schools that encourage that. I will try to look for teachers that encourage that. I'll try to look for other families or other friends he has who are more curious, who doesn't come from that background.
Right.
So when you're
Mhm.
clear with what you want for your child, you will start looking for similar things to nurture it.
Right, right, right.
But
That quality.
when you do not know what you want for your child, then you're going to go everywhere.
True, true.
Then you do not
But
know
also,
what.
I feel most parents are very, they have a lot of gray areas when it comes to that. They honestly don't know what exactly they want, so they are just going all over the place.
Now I'll tell you
Also,
something, Devika. The gray area is because we never sat down and thought about it.
exactly.
बिकॉज हमें किसी ने एग्जैक्टली हमने हमें किसी ने बताया ही नहीं ना.
नहीं, कोई
जैसे
मैनुअल तो वैसे भी है नहीं, वो भी है.
exactly, I always say, I say parenting, I wish I had a manual, but there
या
can
नहीं
never
है.
be a manual, because
हम्म,
people manuals can be made for robots who doesn't have emotions.
हम्म.
यहाँ पे तुम कितने परमेंटेशन कॉम्बिनेशन बना लोगे दुनिया में, बताओ मुझे. It
नहीं,
cannot be,
हाँ हाँ हाँ.
right? Like relationships में you cannot have
You
manuals, right?
cannot. Yeah.
Same with
Given that there
parenting.
are so many, exactly.
Yeah, no, see, again, those will be like, broadly speaking, this is how men are, this is how women are, this is how you should behave, right? Same parenting में भी होता है. These are the kind of children, okay, these are the
Mm.
बच्चों का
Mm.
temperaments are there, these are the kind of parenting styles. Those will just give you a broad idea,
Correct.
right? But when you really want to sit down and understand what you want for your child, your
Mm.
parenting will start flowing in that direction. Like
True.
one of my main value is connection. Like कुछ भी हो जाए, मेरे child के साथ my connection comes the top priority after that day of what I went through. Okay, so I will tell you, I actually have said this to my child one day when I was struggling and he was not doing his homework. You know how he is a 5-year-old, करा रही हूँ, कर ही नहीं रहा, and it was really, I was boiling inside, I was like, मतलब checklist खत्म करेगा तब खाना खाएगा, खाना खाने के बाद चेंज करने सुलाना है, 8:30 हो रहा है.
Correct,
So
correct, correct. Yeah,
children
yeah.
don't understand this, men don't understand this. Only
Mm.
a woman and a mother can understand the checklist and the clock that ticks in our head.
It's
Okay,
in our, absolutely.
and I was like, ये कर नहीं रहा, 7 बज गए, ओ गॉड, अच्छा 7:15 हो गए, ओ गॉड, कब खाना खाएगा, कब सोएगा, लेट हो जाएगा, मतलब he's not going to have his full sleep, he's going to be cranky in the morning. We go ahead only, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I was just about to blast off, I'm not kidding, okay. I'm sitting, he's sitting, खुली है किताब भी खुली है, he knows the answers, okay, but he has this habit, अच्छा mama 1 minute I'll get a car, mama 1 minute I'll do this, I'll do that, okay. And I was like, ये तो गया आज, literally I was like, okay. So he went to get something, and thank god he went, otherwise I would have blasted that day. Okay, he went to get something that gave me a minute to pause. By the time he came back, no, I had that pause, that 2-3 seconds ka pause, and I was like, okay. I looked at him and I said, Zoravar, you know what, I said, mat karo homework. And he's like, huh, nahi karu. Maine kaha mat karo homework. I said, you know what, this homework is not more important than your relationship with me. I said, I don't care if you do the homework or not. I said, your responsibility, लेके जाओ कल स्कूल में, मैम कुछ बोलेगी या बोल देना नहीं किया. मैंने कहा, but I can't fight with you and spoil my relationship with you. I said, this is too small for it. I literally said this in this tone, got up and went. Because I actually thought that कि मैं इस पे चीखूं चिल्लाऊं किसके लिए, ये कैट मैट बैट इसके लिए, नहीं करना मत कर बेटा. No, honestly.
True, true, exactly, absolutely. You're very much like me that way. Very true, true, true.
लिए बट मैंने उसको रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी भी दे दी पूरी. मैंने कहा कोई बात नहीं, मत करो, कल जाना, मैम पूछेंगे, कहना मैम नहीं किया, मन नहीं किया, देन यू फिगर इट आउट व्हाट टू डू. बट आई सेड, मैं आई एम नॉट स्ट्रेसिंग
You're
ओवर
not
इट,
going to be a part.
I am not fighting over it. I love you. I always add this. I said I love you way too much कि इसके लिए बहुत बराबर, leave it. And I went. He came back in like 5-10 minutes. No, mama, I'll do it. I said, then do it. You know the answers. You don't even need me to sit with you. He did his
Uh-huh.
homework, Ram se. I said, because, and I think that pause, that reflection is what parents forget a lot of time, because they do not know what they want for their child.
Correct,
They
correct.
just have this imagination कि मेरा बच्चा successful हो जाए, खुश हो जाए, but
Hmm.
that is very vague. What is happiness? Nobody can always be happy. You have
No.
to teach your child to be unhappy. You have to
Hmm.
teach your child to have struggles, which my child is having these days. मैं बोर हो गया हूँ, मैं बोर हो गया हूँ, मैं बोर हो
My
गया
God,
हूँ.
I know, seriously, these kids.
With holidays coming, morning till evening, the only thing I hear is, "Mama, I'm bored. Mama, I'm bored." I said, "Very good,
Hmm.
beta. कोई बात नहीं." I said, "Why don't you go and sit there?" Literally, he's just sitting and lying. And I love looking at him like that. He just sits, lies, look outside. I said, "Thank God he is doing that.
True, 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 true.
Otherwise, when will they do it?" And I think I've also realized this. हम parents में भी ना वो patience नहीं है. When we see our kids bored, we jump in.
True.
I always tell them, let them get bored यार, क्या हो गया? इतना वो
क्या हुआ?
शांति से बैठे हैं, लेटे हैं, why are you feeling guilty to go do something? My mother is like that, my mother, वो बेचारा बोर हो रहा है. मैंने कहा कोई बात नहीं मम्मा, वो
It's
बैठा है,
okay.
he is not in danger, he is not self harming himself, he is not being naughty, he is not scribbling, कुछ नहीं कर रहा है वो. Let him get bored, कोई बात नहीं, कुछ सोच ही लेगा, maybe he'll come up with something. But my mother is like, no, I'll go play with him, I'll do something with him.
Oh God. Well,
Sorry,
that's also the fun part.
values, yeah. So value was there. Sorry, when I talk, I just go somewhere else. I'll come back to the toolkits now. How many did
Yeah,
you ask? Sorry, how many did you ask?
five, five.
Five. Okay, so the first toolkit that you need to have is learning how to take a pause. I think that will solve half of any parent's issue, because the moment you take a pause, no, you get a minute to know what is important, what is not important, and how to deal with it.
Hmm, hmm,
प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है, बच्चा कुछ करता है एंड दैट इंस्टिगेट्स अस, इट इंस्टिगेट्स अस, तो उसका तो दिमाग चल ही नहीं रहा, सडनली वी आल्सो फ्लिप आवर लिड एंड देन वी
hmm,
गेट इनटू अ पावर स्ट्रगल. And then
hmm,
power struggle ke baad we scream, we shout, we hit, then we feel
hmm.
guilty about it, we cry, then we overcompensate, then again the circle starts. So
True,
it
true,
doesn't
true,
help.
true.
If you just pause for a minute and think long term, what do I want to teach my child out of it, is,
Hmm.
I think, the first thing that every parent should think about. Do
Take a
I
pause. So it's like take
take
a
a
pause. Yeah.
pause? Take a
Hmm,
pause. You
hmm,
have to take a pause.
hmm.
Second is learn to set boundaries very clearly,
Very
which
true.
I think a lot of parents don't know how
Hmm.
to.
How
So,
to? Correct.
how to set a boundary, you
Hmm,
know?
hmm,
And even if they set a boundary, a lot of questions I get is, "Ma'am, we set a boundary, but उसने कुछ किया ही नहीं, मतलब he didn't even follow it." I said, because your definition of setting a boundary is wrong, my darling. A
hmm.
boundary is something that you set.
Correct, correct,
Okay?
correct.
I told, like, for example, most common TV time. I told him to switch it off after half an hour. He didn't switch it off. I said,
Hmm,
you have a 8 year, 9 year old. उतना उनमें impulse control है नहीं. उतना they need. It is giving them dopamine. वो क्यों खुश नहीं होंगे? Why will they switch it off? Will you switch it off if you're watching your favorite show? You will also not switch it off. You want to watch it more and more and more. Adults
hmm.
also don't have self control, especially after all this OTT platforms have come. How much binge watching we are doing?
Lots, lots. Yeah, yeah,
So I said,
yeah.
you expect the 8 year, 9 year old, a teen to switch it off for you? I said, that's too much of an expectation. And sometimes वो अगर toddler के लिए बोलते हैं ना, मतलब 5, 6 year old, मैंने कहा मुझे तो तुम्हारी expectation ही गलत लगती है. It's too much of an
Seriously.
expectation. I don't know who
सही
have set
बात
this for
है,
you.
हाँ,
कि
बहुत बात.
हाँ, I said maybe you have seen it somewhere. Some social media influencer showed you कि I go, my child switches off the TV. I said उसके घर में होता होगा. मैंने कहा मेरे घर में तो आज तक रोना होता है. Okay. I said, so the boundary you're setting is, beta, if you're not able to switch it off, I will switch it off for you.
Hmm.
Right? I
Right,
said,
right.
that's
Correct,
called a boundary. So,
correct.
and then someone said, but is it okay to snatch it from them? I said, I didn't snatch it. I informed my child. I told my child, listen, either you switch it off or I will do it for you because I think it's difficult for you. I
Hmm.
said, that's not being rude. That's setting a boundary and saying, this is what needs to be done. which I
100%.
think most of parents don't understand. I really
Yeah,
think so.
yeah, yeah. True, true, true.
Third thing I feel is that routines, which are so under, जिसे कहते हैं ना कि they don't understand कि the importance of routines for a child.
Right.
Predictability is something that a child thrives on. Why do you think schools have routines? Why do you think
Routine.
school has a certain predictability?
Mm.
Because if a child goes to a school and he doesn't even know what to do, what is the next subject, इसके बाद क्या करना है, when is the lunch break, teachers are going to go mad because all of them are going to be so dysregulated. They do not know
Yeah,
what to expect.
yeah. We don't know. Yeah.
But क्या होता है ना, घर में we don't know how to make routine charts. We do not know how to implement those routine charts. We do not understand that routine charts cannot be the same throughout.
True,
You
true.
have to be flexible enough to say, chal, let's try it for 15 days, nahi hoga, we'll change it. Right? Like suppose if I want you ki, chal, you start a new diet, suppose, okay, and I say you start this diet, but this diet is like forever, you have to do it for 3 months.
तो बोर हो जाएंगे ना सब.
More se zyada, you will have a resistance. 3 months?
True.
My God,
Um,
how will I do it for 3 months? And if I say,
mm,
okay, Devika, let's try this diet for a week, see if we like it. If we don't like it, we'll adjust it.
mm.
You'll still have be more
You'll,
open to
you'll still be open to it, basically.
you like चल देख लेते, let me try, at least
हाँ,
you'll
हाँ,
open.
हाँ,
So
हाँ,
at
हाँ.
least with pre-teens and teens you should have that flexibility and talk around it and let them make it. Only for toddlers like below the age of 8, do it with them. After them, let them decide and then tweak it little bit here and there because you think they're taking too much time there, too much time here. Tell them let's come in the middle and find a way out. But
Mm.
करते नहीं है, and then they blame the child. He is not studying, he is not doing this, he is not doing that. He doesn't know when to do it. You never defined it for him.
True, true, true,
And then
true.
someone said to me once, but he keeps, the mother said, I have to tell him 10 times, get ready. Now it is time to go for soccer and things like that. And then I
Mm.
asked him, why do I have to keep telling you? Because the son said, because I know you will tell me. Why do I have to think about it? I said, because you didn't make it a routine for him.
True, true.
And with this, I'll come to the fourth one, right? Which is the natural consequences which children don't let their kids have.
Mm.
This is something I think a lot of parents are very scared because they don't want their child to get hurt or they do not want their child to fail कि कोई उनको डांट ना दे. But I always say that ये जो छोटी छोटी गलतियां बच्चे भी करते हैं ना, like for example my son, if you wouldn't have done the homework, you face it in the school, darling. I would rather have him make chota chota mistakes when I am around to support him and guide him than him making big mistakes in his
Mm.
adulthood when I'm not even there.
Mm. True,
Right?
true, true, true.
Now you make a small mistake, I'm there, I'll help you out, I can remind you, we can find a way out. But when
Mm.
I'm not even letting you make a mistake, how are you going to learn that you are going to fail in life someday? Somebody is going to say something to you.
100%.
you know
100%.
And I think the last and I think the most important tool will be connection and validation. I think that tops everything. If you see, whatever you start with, if you just validate what they say and then say what you want to say. For
Mm.
example, uh, again, like my child is super angry about something, like maybe I was talking to somebody else, I didn't hear him, and he had a major meltdown, suppose, okay, I can always go and tell him that you didn't like me talking to auntie and not listening to you. You didn't feel good about it, or it made you feel really angry. you know he will at least be again open to listen to me. At least he'll feel, acha, she understands that I didn't like it. Instead of straight
Mm.
away going and saying, but beta, she's my friend, I have to talk to her as well, right?
Right, right,
No,
right, right,
and
right.
they're going into that over explaining mode. So
Mm.
I feel validation and connection is on top of everything. It's like with
Everything.
us also, yeah. When our husband comes in and we go to our husband and say something, and if he starts straight away start giving us solution, तो ऐसे कर ले, तू ऐसे कर ले, तू ऐसे कर ले. Sometimes I tell my husband, I don't need solutions. Just listen to me,
just sun lo.
सुन लो, वैलिडेट कर दो कि हाँ ठीक है, आई अंडरस्टैंड, कि
Hmm.
ठीक है, ये होता है, व्हाटएवर इट इज.
Hmm.
My husband is like, men are not like this. I said, I know. That's why I am breaking it down for you. You say this, I say this, you say this, I say this. That's all I want from you.
It's the instruction.
क्या करेंगे? We are wired very differently. Men are wired very different.
What to do? Yeah, yeah, totally, totally.
But do you know the reason for it? Do you know why men are wired like this? When there was this gather, that no, when they're cavemen, right? So men had to be very laser focused because they have to go and hunt,
Hunt, hunt, hunt.
right?
Uh-huh.
So that's why they can't multitask, because they always have to be laser focused. They are built that way, their brain is like that, because they have to hunt. For hunting, you have to be laser focused. You cannot be distracted with this and that and have 10 things in mind. Then you will
No,
not
you
be able
can't.
to
You
hunt,
can't.
right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Women, why we have to multitask? Because when you're staying back home, you have your children, you have the house ka thing, and most importantly, why you will always see women is more aware about the surroundings. Take any woman, we are always more aware about the surrounding. Bacha idhar bhi
Right.
hoga, I know my kid is here and what my child is doing. Husband may
Hmm.
not know, father may not, ठीक है, वो अगर लैपटॉप देख रहा है तो वो लैपटॉप ही देख रहा है, बट मैं अगर लैपटॉप देख रही हूँ, मेरा एक आंख कान उधर भी है, ओके.
Always, always, always.
That is because when the children used to play and the mothers used to be outside in the forest, pehle you used to have a lot of poisonous fruits and everything.
Right, right.
Would have animals would come and
Hmm.
attack. That's why women have this thing around them. They're very aware about the surrounding. They will always
Hmm.
be like, koi aa to nahi raha, is my child eating something or not? That's why we are very aware, we multitask a lot.
Hmm.
तो इसमें उनकी गलती नहीं है, they are wired this way.
It's beautiful. The way we compliment each other is very,
Oh yeah.
it is absolutely beautiful, I
Yeah.
think. So I'm gonna jump into some rapid fire if that's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah?
sure.
Okay. So what's the first thing you do when you wake up?
I wake up, I actually go for bath straight.
Good. What's one parenting rule you secretly break if there's something?
No, I don't secretly break. I openly break. That I cannot keep my calm all the time. So
Hmm.
there are days when I also lose it, and then my husband and my son knows that we need to give her space now.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
Coffee or calming tea?
coffee, any day, coffee.
Good. If you could relive one day from your life, which one would that be?
Is it like only motherhood or pre that also?
Or the versions, right?
The versions, I would say, yeah, I have a lot of versions. No, so see, very, very honestly, I think one of my happiest memory was when I turned 33 and my closest friend flew down from everywhere to Dubai, only for me. So I think that
Oh,
was the
that's
first time
good.
I felt like, I felt so loved and important that
Oh,
they came only for 2 days for me, because as I said, I was a spoiled brat, and I found friends also like that, and I was going through a lot that time. So I just told them once that I want you on my birthday, and but they said it's not even your 30th. You have turned 30th. It's milestone birthdays. I said I don't care. It's my 33rd birthday. I want to celebrate it. Come down. I will take you to places, and all three of them came. So I think that was the best day. One of the best days that I had. Yeah.
oh, that's very special.
Yeah.
That's actually like absolutely very special.
Because I feel if someone can
Hmm.
travel miles for you, I don't think there is anything else. I think then you're the luckiest
Absolutely.
person. I feel that.
Very, 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 very. Totally. I get that. Because
Yeah.
I've had friends do that for me. So I know, and I'm very, I should say friend focused as well. So a
uh,
parenting book you'd recommend to everyone.
there's my all-time favorite. It's how to raise mentally strong kids by I'm very bad with names. Wait, by by Daniel Amen. Amen. Yeah. Amen. However that is spelled. So, How to
Cool.
Raise Mentally Strong Kids by Daniel Amen. Why? Because it actually tells you how the mind works.
Ah, okay,
And there's
got it.
one book he has written which I have been recommending to everybody from last 3 months I have met. I said you have to read this to your child. It is Captain Snout.
Okay.
Captain Snout. I said, I wish when we were children there were books like this where children can understand that the thoughts that they have is not theirs.
Ah,
The negative thoughts that are coming into their heads, and how you can actually question that thoughts and
mm.
change your entire vocabulary.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah, I told them, I said, everybody I meet, I tell them, you have to buy this book. You have to buy this book. I said, buy this book, read it
I
to your
will
child.
certainly do that.
No, no, it is a very good book, like especially when the children go like, I am the worst, nobody loves me, I can't do anything. When you teach them that these are the thoughts that your brain is giving you, these are not actual
Not
thoughts.
yours. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
what question you can ask yourself every time this thought comes, they will start, their muscle memory will start building.
Mm.
Every time this
True,
thought
true,
comes, what do I need to do? Every time this thought comes,
true,
what can I do? So yeah, because
true.
I am also more focused about skills. I don't care about numbers, marks. I was an average child. I think I did superbly well in my life. My child can be an average child, but he needs to know the life skills to
Very true.
really
100%. Nothing,
go
nothing more than that.
nothing more
100%.
than that. If you know how
True.
to come back from failures, I think that's a win
The
altogether.
most important thing.
Yeah,
Totally. Journaling or meditating?
both. I have
Both.
to do. Yeah,
Any big oops moments?
oops moment. Okay, let me tell you. It happened few months back. Uh, I am very bad with names, as you just saw. You asked me. I told you the book's
Yes.
name, but I didn't know the author's name, right? I'm very bad with names. Okay, so I do my Thursday live every Thursday, 11:30. Okay, on Instagram. Now one day I don't know what mood I was in, and I was like, I was reading the question, and there was this one question, and I read the question, and then I read the name of the person, and I'm like, huh? And I'm like, again I read the question, then I again read the name of the person, and so then I first read the question. I said, okay, so this is the question, and Miss, and then I go like this, and I'm like, Miss Kamini underscore 2016 is asking this, and I'm looking at. I said, I don't know, maybe people keep names these days, but anyways. So then I answered the entire question that she had asked me. Okay, Miss Kamini 2016. Okay. In the evening, I went for a walk. So my friends are very supportive. Okay, so my friend
Huh.
came. She's like, Divya, what did you do today? I said, lovely life. No, I know, maza aa gaya yaar. And I was like all happy with my life. Okay. She said, and I said, but तूने देखा, there was this one person. I don't know कैसे कैसे लोग नाम रख लेते हैं यार आजकल. She said, Divya, it was Kamini, not Kamini. I said, really? She said, you don't even know you made a mistake. I said, no, till the time you didn't tell me, I don't know I had made a mistake.
Office comedy. So bad comedy.
I went on next Thursday night. I don't know whether she came or she did not come. But I
God.
actually apologized and I said, I am really
Please.
sorry. I did this. I said, I'm very bad with names. From now on, I'm not taking anybody's name. I'll just read the question and tell you what it is.
Yeah, like you said, Aman or whatever the name is.
Yeah,
The name
because
want to pronounce it, please
मेरे को
do.
starting से ना, yeah, because I didn't want to mispronounce it, so I told you the name. It's Amen. Now it's Aman or Amin or you figure it out.
Whatever it is.
I am sorry. Yeah. I think that's okay. And somebody, I never try to be perfect. I am more than imperfect. My everything is like messy, but just be happy about it. I went
No,
apologize
it's
to that person
perfection
also.
itself is an illusion. What is perfect to me is may not be perfect to you.
You're like my soul
So I
sister.
think
I'm
just
telling you, same words I tell everybody. I said, what is perfect? There's
yeah, yeah,
nothing
true,
called as
true.
perfect.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%, 100%.
And
Your
there's nothing.
favorite way to celebrate a small win?
I'm really bad at that.
No.
I keep reminding myself I've come a long way, Divya, you should like how people celebrate, they reach a certain milestone on Instagram. For me, Instagram happened by accident, let's be very honest. I
Hmm.
didn't plan to. it happened. My first 10K, I was very happy. That day I went down for my walk and I told my auntie and my friend who support me like crazy. I hugged them. I said, I've reached 10K, 10K.
Mm.
After that, 100K happened, 200K happened, 200K. I went to and told my husband, I've reached 200K. He said, for what? I said, Praveen, this is what I do in life. Oh, congratulations. So, क्या होता है मतलब? What do you do? I'm like, God, leave it. So I think I must be one of those who have not celebrated all these milestones, but I don't think it's a good thing. I really don't think it's a good thing. I think I'm too hard on myself. So now I consciously, in a day, when I go to sleep, I tell myself, चल आज इतना तो कर लिया ना, especially on a bad day. I tell them, चल वो नहीं हुआ what you wanted, but you at least did one thing, or you did this one email you sent, and that's all I do. I'm getting there.
Absolutely. And I believe in celebrating,
Yeah.
small wins. And अगर और कोई नहीं तो खुद कर
कर
लो.
ले, but that's
I
the thing. I
believe
am I
that.
am bad at it, but I am now conscious ki at least see what you have done. At least see how far you have come. Like if you ask
Absolutely.
my friends, they have a very different perspective about me than I have about myself. So
Mm,
when
mm.
people have seen me grow, version 1, 2, 3, they tell me, I don't know how you have done all this, and I'm like, करा ही क्या है मेरे life में? They're like, Divya, you're crazy. I don't understand what is wrong with you.
I
So
know. Because I think the people who are actually seeing you grow and go through the phases,
yeah.
and if they're close to you, they kind of like really, that's a huge safe space and reassurance for
Yeah.
you as well.
Yeah. So when I need a little push, I always go and ask them, say good things about me. I literally say that. Say good things about me. I need to listen to some good
Good,
things.
good. I do that too. कि अच्छी अच्छी बात बोल यार.
हाँ, अच्छी बोल यार, अभी कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा. हाँ.
Totally, totally. So what's next? What's your next project? Next is a book in the pipeline. What's
Next
next
year,
for you?
book, yes. I have a book that I want to write. It's not on motherhood. It's about how we juggle. So it's about when I shifted from a corporate to a domestic, how that happened, how things. It's like I'm trying to make it funny. I don't know how funny it's going to be, but let's see. I
I
have.
think
I
it'll
have
be funny. I think it'll be funny because you do have a good sense of humor.
so it is. I keep writing it here and there when something comes, but my deadline is next year. I have to put it out. At least do something, Divya. But what I'm working on right now is I am launching a community, because after doing close to 1,200 calls, which I've been doing since last 2 years, I
Mhm.
have realized one thing, that one, mothers don't do courses too much. Not only mothers, nobody actually finishes courses.
True,
What
true.
happens is, because either we don't have time, we buy
Mm.
something impulsively, and then we're like,
Mm.
yaar, ab chhod, first
होता
chapter,
नहीं,
second
खत्म भी
chapter,
नहीं
we
होता.
don't do
हाँ,
it.
हाँ, 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 हाँ.
So the impact that I want to make is not happening. So I'm not happy about that. And then, in fact, even there's a study which says that only 37% of the people who buy courses actually finish them.
Wow.
So I'm like,
That's
okay,
really
courses can be a
powerful.
part of what I do, but I want to start a community of
Mm.
especially Indian mothers anywhere, where I will first help you get your power back. Because I've realized one thing, no matter how many parenting tips I've given, you do routine charts, you do validation, you take you set boundaries like this. I've done all that. I've told them what has worked for me, what really works. But you know why it doesn't work for them? Because they are not centered. They are not happy with where they are.
True,
They
true,
do
true.
not know
Mm.
what they want. So I
Mm.
tell them, I said, if you do not have power and you want to raise empowered, confident kids, कहाँ
कहाँ
से
से
होगा?
होगा? कहाँ से होगा? हाँ.
I
True.
said इलेक्ट्रिसिटी होगी तभी तो तुम्हारा फोन चार्ज होगा ना. मैंने कहा when
Very.
you don't have something, how are you going to
How are
give
you
it?
gonna? Yeah, true, true, true. Very true.
So with that, I'm working on my motherhood community, which I plan to launch on the 11th of August. I've given a deadline. I cannot work without deadlines. If I've given, then I'll do it. Otherwise,
Very
it's
good.
not
Very
going
good.
to
No, no,
happen.
that works. That works. Absolutely.
I am going to launch that, and it's going to be a community model. It's not that I'm going to give you just a course and go it. I am there with you every week, coming live, talking to you, because I feel when you have someone to talk to, when you know there's at least one person who cares for you, I think
Mm,
life
mm.
starts becoming very different. You
Very
don't
true.
need a lot of people. You just need that one person who believes in you and say, listen, you know what, Devika, I think you're an amazing mother. This is what you're doing right. Tu ja, tu kar. That's all you
I
need.
believe in that, Divya, a lot. That you just need one person. You
1%.
don't need five, you don't need four,
Yeah.
you don't need any, you just need one.
So my
And I
my
think that's a very powerful thing that you're doing.
Yeah. So my thought process is that I am here. I am coming every week live with you.
Mhm.
Tell me your problem, your parenting problem. I am a life coach, whatever I can help. So I'm structured around it. And I said, then slowly, slowly, I want to take it to a level where it's not only me. We start doing certifications, and I have other mothers doing it for other mothers. I just
Mm,
don't want it to be us. We mothers are so powerful, we just don't realize it.
totally. Very true.
I say, if you are upset, your entire family is upset. If you are not centered, your entire family is not centered. So I said,
True.
how can you pull yourself down and demean
Down.
yourself down to, yaar, मैं तो कुछ भी नहीं हूँ, मैं
Seriously.
तो कुछ भी नहीं करती हूँ. I said, भाई साहब, तुमसे ज्यादा कोई नहीं कर सकता है.
कोई नहीं करता है. हाँ, हाँ. Seriously.
The power you hold is unbelievable. It's just that you have to realize that power and, get back into what you want. That's how it is. So that's what my plan is
Wonderful.
this year.
Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Last one. If your life was a movie, what would you name it?
मूवी का पता नहीं. You have heard that thing, all is well. बस वही है. तो मेरा वही होता है, all is well. At
Good.
the
All
end
is
of
well is
the
good.
day,
I like that all is well part also. That's
all is
wonderful.
well.
All is well. Yeah, yeah.
And
That's
there's
good.
one thing I have learned. Oh my, I have to either take out the mic or this is going to shut off. But I'll quickly say, there's one thing I have realized, that जब बदस बन जाता है, there's a phase. This will pass too, यार. Phase है.
True, true, true. True, true.
Correct? Okay.
Ekdam. Ekdam. Okay. So I think, we've covered most of it. And if you have any more questions, my team will reach out to you. It was so, so, so nice just chatting with you. It was really lovely.
Same here.
And I wish you all the best with every single mission, vision that you have.
Thank you so
Such a powerful person. I loved talking to you, really.
I love talking
So,
to you as well. Stay in touch, we can just always be
abs-
in touch and, just know what's
absolutely.
happening.
I'll take your phone number from my team as well, and I will personally message you as well. So now, if you can tell me how you liked talking to Global Influencers Hub, would be wonderful.
I
Couple
love
of
talking to you. There are few things that I said, no, you're like my soul sister, because this entire perfection thing and what you said, right? It's an illusion. I keep saying this to everybody. I said, what is perfect? What is perfect? There's nothing perfect, so don't get into that perfect mode. So yeah, I
totally.
can relate to you with a lot of things. When you said, I said, it's like, chalo, we are vibing at the same level, at least at the same frequency of where world is. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good. So all the best,
Thank
and we'll be in touch.
Sure, sure. It was lovely talking to you.
It was lovely talking to you. Bye,
Bye.
Divya.
Bye.
Bye.